Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
What is happening today?
I don't know. It's like walking through a
Ooh.
ghost town.
It is. Don't worry. I see Dr. Skip right there.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna drop you right here.
Hey, Doc. Don't worry, I'm getting better. I'm just resting.
Thank God.
Dr. Skip has treated me and said, you need to take a minute to yourself. And to that I say, 30 seconds at most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we gotta be ready for the next call, whenever that
Yeah,
is.
You cannot let these legislations get the better of you, Rhodes, okay?
I didn't. It was the poll. It was the poll that stopped
You
me.
were distracted
I was distracted.
by the legislations.
Precisely. All 134 pieces, which may not be valid. Who knows? How does it even work that piece of legislation is only 3 months old? But when all this other...
I prefer not to speak because I
You are a judge.
I prefer not to speak on the matter.
Yep. No, that's fine. That's fine. You're not a justice. It's not like your
what may come out
signature
of my
could be on
mouth
there.
may or may not be true, and it is just off of my recalled knowledge. Well,
Okay.
not recalled knowledge. I specifically remember somebody saying this, but if I speak, I am in big trouble.
Okay.
Well,
So don't speak. I don't want you to be in big... Actually, will you lose your job? Speak, Barrick. Speak. I don't want you to be a judge. Come back to the police department, bud. Speak. Speak your mind.
Spill it.
Yeah, spill it. Spill it, and with
I
all...
recall, I don't know when this was, and it might have been about something else, but I feel like I remember somebody specifically saying that, like, part of the system was designed early on so that, like, not everybody had to sign everything, but again, don't, you know.
Yeah, but I imagine at least a signature would be on. There's none under justices. Zero.
Yeah, but how is it? I'm curious as to like the context behind it, because there's no like there's no way this just like fucking just like was swept under the rug forever. Because if that was like the case, how was this like not brought up when the governor was around? Like, how was this not brought up?
Wait, isn't that exactly when this was pushed forth? Because Kyle Pratt's signature's on here when he was the mayor of Blaine County. So would this not have been that time exactly?
I mean, yeah, probably, because he was still the mayor at the time. That's exactly what it was.
The Constitution enshrines the right of citizens to assemble, give free speech and thought, as well as the right to petition. Definitions amendment. Any change, including additions, revisions, and removal of language to a proposed or enacted piece of legislation. It details everything here. Everything. Even mentions updates to case and common law made by the Department of Justice as part of the outcome of a judicial proceeding must be posted on the City Hall section of the government website. It will be enacted immediately. Apparently, that there's not a single justice's name on here.
Like, how? How does that?
I don't know.
Like,
we got Nino Chavez, Kyle Pred, Naya Nashville. Justices.
Yeah.
And I love how it's like in parentheses, because it could be multiple, but instead it's none.
I don't understand. I just don't understand how this is like.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand how this. Hold on. I have to like.
Is it possible that a prior justice's name was on there, and upon them, like, could their name have been removed?
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm going through reports and I'm trying to. What's it actually titled?
Legislative Proposal and Approval Process Act.
Yeah, are you like able to see like edit
The
history and
intro.
stuff?
Yeah.
This legislation shall outline the process through which all legislative authorities must propose and enact legislation. Hold on.
Okay, it did have 4 justice signatures.
Oh wow.
Awkward.
Had Adelaide, Arcadia, or Weiss, and Larry.
What happened? Because this is giving.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh no, that don't sound good.
I don't want to speak on this.
Oh, let me guess. Like,
Okay.
can I assume one justice meant to remove their signature and instead removed all signatures?
Their signature wasn't even originally on there though.
Ooh.
Which is why I'm
drama.
Oh, tea
I
time.
can't.
Tea time.
Exciting.
Well, you know, Barrick, listen, I'm not a part of PNT, but I can assure you, in Shift 3, you have a spot in the BCSO. You just let me know
Yeah,
when.
Perfect.
Alice asks to hire me like every week. I know.
Barrick, listen,
I
you're
just-
gonna be all right from here, bud. Okay? You just come on over to the BCSO. We can get you a prosthetic. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. You'll never have to. Well, you'll have to read legislation if we don't get to remove
Yeah,
all
I mean, that's
130
obvious,
some odd
but-
useless pieces of dog shit legislation. But good news, you know, you'll have a better job, and you won't have to deal with command stuff, even though eventually you'll end up there.
True.
Oh, hey, Patty. I saw him briefly through the door.
Oh.
Very briefly. I can see straight through the hallway, but I can't see him anymore. Don't worry, he's going to end up right here because he's definitely in need of medical attention. That's why he's here. Dr. Skip, I see him wheeling him in. I see it happening as we speak. I may have been seeing things. I don't know where he went. Okay. Sorry, don't mind me. I was assuming.
Rhodes, are you dead?
No, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Oh, okay.
We're
I
just
wanna make sure you weren't,
T-stepping.
like,
I'm
in
trying to
ICU and
get
shit.
Barrick fired and or willing to quit to join the PD again.
Hey, Barrick, you want to come be a marshal and just do paperwork all day?
Oh,
and you can just stand around and be a yapper
don't
forever?
you
Ugh.
dare.
What?
No.
Oh.
Do you really
No.
want to chase dispatch calls, or would you want to sit around and be a yapper and earn $100,000 a week just for existing?
I mean, I don't fucking know at this point, brother.
Oh my god.
Y'all, do you know what?
I'm still trying to fucking process what I just.
Which one? What did you just hear? The impeach? No, you heard about the impeach. You had to have
Oh,
heard
yeah,
about the
of
Well,
course
he
I know.
impeachment.
hasn't
Literally
heard.
every
He
judge
just
woke up today.
discovered something.
No, I know that, but
Which the-
you know, the,
What did
the
you
He's
just
not
discover?
telling us, but he
the
kind of
signa-
told
the
us, but he's
signatures
not
thing,
telling
like,
us.
the signatures
The
were
signatures.
the signatures were on there. That's the problem.
Yeah, they got
So somebody
removed on
removed
the
them.
20th. Well, no, they
Ugh.
removed it on the the 20th of February because they made dramatic changes to the legislation. They signed the original one on December whatever, but then they changed it February 20th, but nobody signed the changes. So what's there is an entirely different legislation.
What?
But
Like
who
everything's being
changed it?
rewritten.
What?
It actually says in the
Is
logs
it
in
Murray?
there.
And okay, so
Rhodes, you know how to look up the changes, right?
We can't see
No.
that for legislation
Wait.
stuff.
You can.
Yeah, we can't see this. We since when? I mean,
If
Wait,
you
do
go
we
into
have
the
to look at it
legislation
under
and find the
report?
number- yes. So you find on legislation tab, it still says the
Ah.
ID number of the report. You take that number and go to reports and look it up.
Oh,
I know.
So wait, who heavily changed it then?
Hold on, I lost it because my thing
With
fell
existing
off.
signatures on it.
I guess Murray did, but I don't know why if everybody wasn't in it. I don't know. I don't know. Like what changed and what is like. It's so confusing.
oh wow. Wait, is
You find it?
no? I mean, I see the signatures, and then I
Yeah, so you'll see the
see
signatures in
not
December, and
signatures on the 4th.
yeah, you'll see there's a change somewhere in February. Like there's a long distance and there's a change. And if you take the changes from February, you take the copy of it from February and put it in like diff checker and compare it to the document of the one immediately before in December, you'll see the entire document is very critically changed. Like almost the whole thing is rewritten.
With no new signatures to justify the change.
Right.
Awkward.
They cleared the signatures because it was a new document and it needed to be re-signed, but nobody re-signed it.
Okay, but does that mean that the old one is still valid? Therefore, this is a non-issue? Question mark. I don't know how that works.
Well, I don't know if it is without the signatures being there. They got removed, right?
Well, they got
Yeah, they
removed
because it's a new
because.
document. They all have to re-sign it.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, but I
They
think there'd
signed
be
the
a.
original document.
Okay, so isn't this why there shouldn't? Wasn't there a whole discussion at some point regarding Pred and the adjustment of current legislation not being able to be edited, and instead should be proposed as like new legislation? Wouldn't that resolve this? As silly as that sounds, because then you.
That's the problem
It's
with
tricky.
the whole structure of our legislation, right?
Yeah, it's ass.
That the way this is supposed to be, or how the way this should be done, is there should be a single document code of law for state law. There should be a single document for code of law for Los Santos County and a single document for code of law of Blaine County. You propose legislation to amend that code, add chapters, add subchapters,
Right.
add categories, remove them, amend them, and you have your log of the
Breathe, Barry,
legislation
breathe.
pieces. The legislation pieces themselves should say this is a proposed legislation to amend the San Andreas Code of Law, Chapter 1, Section 3, Subsection 7.
Yep. And then when it gets approved,
item 14.
it
Yeah,
gets
and then once
updated
it
on
gets
the main
approved,
document, essentially.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you have a record of the amendments and proposed changes in the legislation thing. But you should always be able to refer to the live living document of the code of law for the state and the counties. But we've just been going, I even proposed this. When I first started in the marshal's office, I rewrote the entire state code into a single document.
I remember it was the
All
greatest fucking thing ever. Because
Yeah,
then
it's
I could
actually-
I could
and
control
all the
F.
justices said, yeah, all the justices agreed, and they're like, this is fantastic, we should do this. And then they just left it and ignored it and disappeared. And I was like, what's going on? They're like, well, we've been so busy with things.
I was
And
thinking
that's
about
what
that
prompted me
earlier
to
this
start this
week,
investigation.
Actually,
Holy fuck.
I was thinking about that earlier this week because I was in desperate need of it.
Yeah. I literally spent a long time categorizing and separating and writing out our entire state code,
And
which was more at
here's the fucked up part. With how this was changed, with no notification, no nothing, like, how are you ever supposed to keep track?
yeah, you
It-
can't. It's literally impossible.
It did. The changes aren't even dated. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Is there a date on here?
No,
Oh my
no, they're
god.
not. They're
I've
not
lost
dated.
it.
The
I've
whole
lost
thing-
it.
Yeah, the whole thing is a mess. I have been pointing this out for months. and going to the justices and stuff like that, and talk, like I've talked to Arcadia and Falconer. I've talked to Weiss about these kind of things, judges, and it just keeps getting. They're like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. That you're right. This is how we need to fix things. This is wrong. This is wrong. We should fix it, and then it never goes anywhere because nobody's actually doing their job. I've talked to the mayors to legislate things, and they keep going, yeah, we should change this, and then just kind of falls to the wayside.
You want my honest opinion? I think
Yeah.
I think there is far too much within legislation and far too few people in the Department of Justice to deal with every aspect of it, because I feel like every time one loophole is brought up, they look at it and they go, yeah, that's problematic, we'll deal with it. And then in the meantime, in the process that they assume they'd have time to deal with, they have then been brought up several more loopholes in legislation, and it's just an absolute fucking clusterfuck.
Yes.
That would be
And
my
another issue
assumption.
they keep doing is they keep bringing up whenever we have new legislation. They go, well, we keep saying, like, as law enforcement, we go, things need to be clear on what you're doing here. And they go, well, no, the intent is to be vague because that's what's better for the city. But then when we bring up issues of things being overly vague and how it's bad for the city, they go, yeah, you're right. But what can we do, shruggers, and just move on? And so they were like, yeah, you need to make this a living document where, we make things vague, and through law enforcement actions, you clarify things living in real time through the city. But then every time we bring up these things and we're like, yeah, this is how we want to interpret it based on our interactions, they go, cool, I guess, but we're not actually going to interpret that like case law. How long we finally got new case law recently, but the gap between the what was it, the Suarez standard and the one after that was like 5 months or 6 months between case law being established.
I can explain that, by the way. We have very few officers willing to push things in court because of crazy, like, outcomes to where people are genuinely just discouraged from going to court, essentially.
Yeah, that's a big reason why I don't involve myself in huge investigations.
Yeah, I don't
quite
blame
happily
you.
oversee, but I will not be running one.
I do not blame you. I mean, Bear, reading the outcome of that case that you had mentioned is like, it was very silly.
The one
but
where I got sued.
Yeah, but additionally, the fucked up part is like, okay, here's an example, right, of like how I begin to lose faith in the DOJ. And I say this as someone who, regardless of what court case I'm part of, and to be very clear, I am very selective in what I do and what I involve myself in because of stuff like this. But Matt Martin had a vehicle in custody, right? He looks up the owner's profile. Actually, no, the day prior to when he told me this is when it was in custody. It was a Jugular registered to J. Hobbs, and when he ran the plate, he saw VAFs. He looked at the prior owner, and there was a VAF that was not applied to his Jugular that was owned by somebody else at the time because the MDT was having an issue to where we couldn't look up certain plates. So we were documenting those on the owner's profile at the time. Now that plate does populate, we can properly apply the VAFs, right? And even in the report, the body of the report, I indicated the MDT is having issues. However, the owner was given, proper notification via contract, shared via state ID, right? Like all of that is very clearly spelled out. And so he contacted a judge just to ensure that he is within, his right to apply the VAF, because it should have been on the vehicle already. He contacts a judge. I believe it was Ava, is who he said. And he told me that she stated, well, we can't prove that they received the notification and it's more than 30 days ago. So no, can't be added.
But there's literally no way for us to prove anyone received anything. Like, there's no possible way for us
I'm going to be
do
real. There have been very few circumstances in which I almost lost my shit because I'm a very logical thinker, okay? Really, I am. And I thought to myself, there's no possible situation in which this doesn't, like, this isn't the best case scenario that we have at this very moment. Because when I do this, I request my signature. And when you sign it, it gives a timestamp. I request their signature immediately after. And here's the kicker. Unless you permanently share a document with someone, you cannot request their signature, which means they have received it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that is the best we can do. Before, we would run plates, we'd get their phone numbers. We can no longer do that. We would text them, you know, all the required information, inform them they were being VAF'd or whatever. We can't do that. And unfortunately, people can have as many SIM cards and phones as they'd like. So, you know, leaving it, if I can share something via state ID and it goes through your documents app, you bet your ass that's what I'm gonna do, because that is a surefire way, especially with my timestamp of signature and requesting theirs showing it was shared with them, because otherwise you can't share it, and requesting their signature even if they don't sign. That is the only surefire way to guarantee that they had a means of receiving it. And the fact that a judge said no, and it's over 30 days ago, I thought to myself, listen, I'm going to ask another judge. And I hate doing that. You know, the whole like, mom said no, so you're going to ask dad bullshit. But like, it was so, the reasoning was so flawed. I sat there and thought to myself, like, for one of the first times, like, I genuinely have lost faith in the system. And there are a lot of things about the system that I don't like, to be very clear. But when that happened, I thought to myself, holy fuck. Like, like, what do we do?
I think honestly, so obviously it should go without saying, I probably don't have a single chance in hell to get the director position anymore. Considering I just impeached 3/4 of the justices.
Awkward.
And it requires a unanimous decision from the justices. I think I might try to run for mayor of Blaine County. I live in Blaine County. I've operated in Blaine County for years. I mean, you know, I patrolled Blaine County exclusively in the third decade for multiple years. I currently live in Toledo. I might run for mayor of Blaine County and try to work with the mayor of Los Santos County, whoever that ends up being. And I think one of the first things we do is repeal pretty much 90% of current legislation and rewrite it and simplify it. Start a living document from square one. Because all it takes is if I write a legislation that says I am writing this legislation to repeal legislation number blah, and basically write every single legislation number on there, repeal them all. And if the Los Santos County mayor signs it, it becomes state law. It's literally as simple as. They just have to go, yeah, it's constitutionally valid. Yeah, it's constitutionally valid because that's literally how it's written. Is if I write legislation and they gets approved to repeal it, then we just repeal it. That's it. Reduce it down to a very foundational stance, create a living document, and let's start the legislation process back from square one with the basic foundations and redesigning things based on how we are as a community from right now.
Yep. And also make sure you tie something in there that some of the Ellis County funds comes to the north, because them bitches be making too much money. Okay, they got all the car sales, all the properties, they got everything.
And that doesn't need to be legislation. That literally is just a civil contract between Los Santos County and Blaine County.
Yeah, sure, that, whatever. You know, listen, I don't want a mayor to ever have to sit there and go, guys, I have to half your pay because unfortunately we just don't make money. Like,
yeah,
that's so fucking rough.
Well, the jetpack didn't help, obviously.
No, but apparently the bitch could have fucking docked our pay. We were making what, $700, $800 an hour for how long? Meanwhile, he bought a what, anywhere from $10 to $15 million jet for a space program. Yep. I've never seen him go to space, but I've seen him crash into the red garage.
You know, your current mayor's not doing anything better either.
What?
Wait, he bought it for a space program?
Yeah, Space Defense Force.
The thing that can't go to space.
He really is Cannoli's dad.
You know, your current mayor just spent $9 million.
On what?
A warehouse.
Didn't we already have one that Pred paid for?
Yeah, there's no way that thing is worth $9 million.
No, it's not. It's not worth $9
There's
million.
no. Are you
but
talking about
that's
that
what you paid
fucking
for it.
barn on Grapeseed Main
Yep.
Street? There's
Yep.
no way.
Guys, what
Oh
happened?
my
What
God.
did Pred not buy a property during his?
Yep.
Is that not the county's?
Shruggers.
Hello? And to think okay. If that I'm gonna lose it. Do you know that a trailer went up for auction behind the BCSO? And we all collectively agreed we're gonna get it for the BCSO. You know, a little if you want to go off duty, you know, take a little cat nap, you know, we have a place right behind the BCSO you just walk to, right? And obviously we needed the funds immediately to pay I think it was Future. And someone said, well, we can just take it from our budget. And I was like, no, we're going to pool our money fucking together and we're not going to touch a single dollar of the budget money so that nobody can claim it's owned by the state or the fucking county. And meanwhile, we have bitches out here spending 10 to 15 million dollars on a jetpack and it never had to be returned. And oh my God, I'm the fucking idiot.
Yeah, you know Blaine County owns like 12 properties now.
Oh, wait, are those the ones that were in Delver's name?
Yeah, those are all county properties, but they're not claiming it. They were given to the mayor as part of Blaine County to be Blaine County distributed, but now they're just claiming it's theirs.
I need one of those houses. I've been in the market for a fucking house. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna snap. You know,
Well, I've seen what Delver's doing, to be fair, and it's gonna be interesting.
What is he doing? I saw
It's like
him
a-
at
it's
the
like an
kebab
apartment
shop.
complex, basically.
I saw him at the kebab shop. Okay, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but he said they're gonna push me to the edge. They just keep pushing and pushing, and I might become a criminal. And I'm thinking to myself, Delver, please relax, bud. Come on. I don't know who's pushing him, but they better fucking stop.
We're in shambles at the moment.
It's fine. It's fine. Listen, you just smile and you just continue on. You continue on, you know? I may have
Well,
to give up
like I said,
my
part of it-
poll joke, considering I got
Part
ejected.
of it
But
is.
and
Part of it is all of our
hello.
What the
saying
fuck is going on?
what?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
don't worry,
Never mind.
it made it through. I thought it was just me, you know. Guys, I may have gotten ejected from a car, but at least I didn't end up in a car in the hospital.
Oh,
It could be worse. Back to the poll thing I was mentioning, considering I got ejected from the poll, I think for 24 hours I forfeit the right to tell anybody who crashed into a poll, you know, if you wanted to hit some polls, the VU's down in the south side joke in the
Oh.
pursuit. I guess I can't make that no more. What were you saying?
that it's all kind of our fault for not speaking out and using ACRs, but everybody's been way too terrified to make ACRs and impeachments because of the reaction that people get from it. They take it super personally, and you can inhibit your own career from it, which is kind of what we're seeing right now. I mean, it's literally the job of the marshals to impeach people and government employees, which I think I have more impeachments than anybody. And I have impeached more people, and I've also received like 2 impeachments.
Now,
but
just to
I've fought both of
verify,
them.
an impeachment doesn't inherently mean out of their position, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, in impeachment. So
I think that's a
even
common
if you get
misconception.
found, yeah, that's the problem, right? Even if you get found entirely guilty of an impeachment, the the punishment can quite literally be as low as bad.
Do your job.
Don't do that again. Yeah, do your job. It can be as bad as a do your job announcement. No fines, no penalties, no jail time, no removal, no suspensions. Literally just a finger point and bad. Do your job. That's literally what it can be down to. But people immediately think impeachment, removal from office. You're going to try and remove him from office. No, I mean the best result possible for me is if these impeachments result in a censure of them going bad, do your job, and they magically start doing their job. I mean, look at what happened today. I submitted those impeachments, and wouldn't you fucking know it? Just about every single goddamn judge on our entire roster came on duty, including 2 of those justices.
Yeah, I see the any and all possible outcomes, and I see you're specifically going for an official notice of censure from the court publicly posted outlining the failures of the individual / entity reviewed.
Yeah,
Holy
that's literally
fuck!
it. Is just that's literally the lowest possible punishment. Is you did bad, do your job.
Holy fuck! I like that
I
it
think a
has
lot
to
of
specifically
the
be posted publicly. It's like a shame, you know?
yeah. We did have some inhibitors behind impeachments before. You're very well aware. We've seen a significant change in inflation, and I would say if 5 months ago, even $50,000 was an astronomical price for a large portion of the city. And that's the minimum fee to put one out if you were a member of the DOJ or a legislative body. Any member of the public, it would be $250,000 or like a bunch of signatures, like 50 signatures. And that's a ginormous task. But that is becoming easier as inflation has gone up. That number, that total fee hasn't changed. And so that number is getting easier to do. Like I had to shell out 150 grand today for those 3 impeachments. That came out of my own
Damn.
pocket. Yeah.
Wait, even though it's the job of the marshals to
Yeah, I can file for an expense afterwards, but no, the justices approve my expenses, so I'm pretty sure I'm not getting that expense approved.
awkward. I mean, you should do it anyway.
But well, no, that's going to be kind of the point, right? Is I'm giving it some time to settle in, then I'm going to file for the expense, and if they deny it, then well, I'm going to be out another 150.
Damn. I think the craziest part is like the publicly posted outlining of the failures is likely going to have to be from, I mean, I guess not one of them, but like probably the one
Have
not.
to go to the governor's office.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way any of those get seen by like a sitting judge.
Oh,
Well, and that's part
y'all
of
who to
phase
governor? I'm asking for
K.
a friend. Who? What?
His name is signed on the Governor K. Oil. It's actually signed
Yeah.
on the Constitution. Look at the Constitution. It's
Oh,
signatures
let
at
me
the bottom of it.
take a gander. Now that I can type Constitution and it actually come up.
Yeah. Well, it's going to show everything because literally it's
Everything
anything that
says
mentions the word
Constitution.
Constitution,
Yeah.
and everything.
But
says
at least it's
Constitution.
better.
It
I
says
can type
constitutional.
I can type vehicle now and vehicle asset forfeiture comes up, you know?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. I'll see
All
you
right.
out
I
Okay,
will
bye.
see you out there soon, probably.
there. All right.
Some people can only handle so much tea, and that's okay.
Yeah, well now
I'm a
but
department.
now
That's all we
here's
do.
the thing, if she responds to a call, I will feel obligated to respond. Which is good because I do need to get out there. I've had a tea-filled day today. Including this Molotov I found under an oil tanker. Don't worry,
Yeah,
it's
that
no
was
longer lit.
scary.
Yeah, no, it was lit. It was.
It was.
But
I
yeah,
found a jerry can.
let's start some shit.
You already have.
Yeah. Come on, Barrett. Give me some tea. How on fire is Judge Chat?
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's
You don't have to tell me
No,
anything. Just
no,
say-
you don't
just
want to get
say-
frosted. You don't want to get frosted.
I'm not gonna get frosted.
No,
Don't give me
actually, get
details.
frosted. Get
Just-
frosted. We'll hire you.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
We'll hire you.
Don't tell me
I'm not.
details. Don't tell me details. Just I'm curious. Did it light up today? More than normal.
Barrick, I want you to get frosted, but don't respond. Don't respond. Don't respond.
I don't know if it's better to or not answer that question. It's like the.
This is if there is ever a no comment situation, this is it, Barrick.
Yeah, I plead the fifth.
No, bitch. No comment.
No, what are you hiding?
Yeah,
what do you
now
wanna
the
keep himself
implication is
incriminated?
you had involvement in this. It's like when a witness
Okay,
starts
well-
to say, "I
okay,
plead
well,
the
now
fifth," that means that
Do I need to-
there be a possibility of a case against them.
No, I didn't do anything. I just don't want to be involved.
Barrick, The BCSO. We will take you on. You want to
Don't you
jump,
wanna be a
Barrett?
justice, Barrett?
Stop.
I mean, now's the
Because if you want to
perfect
be a
opportunity to
justice,
make the
then you're
justice
inherently
rules come
involved.
true.
Eric. Don't do this to yourself.
Barrick Johnson.
No.
Payroll payment
No.
for week 321, $201,000.
Wait, when?
Barrick Johnson judicial payroll for week March 14th, $2,000. Damn, you made some money.
Well, yeah, because I'm actually back and actually around. So
Yeah, but you didn't do anything before March,
No.
huh?
because I was never around.
Damn. Well, I mean, at least you've recuperated.
Well,
your
also, to be
activity, so
fair,
I'd say you can't really
also-
qualify for the
Also, I will say this. There is a separate way of getting paid that even when I was around in the past like few months up until last month, that I did not keep track of, so that I did get paid. And I did not care about it because I was like, I really don't care about money like that until I started having to buy car parts. And then I was like, I should probably keep track of this. So,
So you
I'm
didn't do
actually-
your required paperwork?
well, if by that
Keep
you
talking,
mean
Barrett. Keep
clock-
talking. Get fired. Get fired.
Yeah,
If-
keep going. Keep
I-
going.
if by that you mean clocking into a robot and then clocking out, Craig, yeah, I didn't do that. And saving money for the city, yeah, I didn't do that. Sure.
So you were off duty when you did
Fire
all
me.
these things? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did that shit. Fire me.
I don't know. I think not maintaining public record for the sake of information that the general public needs to see for whether tax dollars are being held into for a justice position is kind of showing a little bit of gross,
Yeah, Barrett,
gross
can I?
incompetence there.
Can you get Barrett fired?
It's worse than them words so much. I don't. I'm fucking lost at this point. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I need. Yeah, I'm gonna have to investigate you with the intention of having you removed from office so that you're forced to join the BCS.
Finally.
I'm having an arm built overseas, so just give me time.
Well, when that arm is produced, Barrick, I need you to realize that
I'm guessing it would
though
look really bad if that was a work expense, right? Since I was hurt
Need
on the
arm for-
job, technically.
Need an arm for gavel swing.
I mean, I was hurt on the job, so I mean, you know,
You could make
No,
a
I'm saying-
valid point with that.
that's all I'm saying.
Huh. I don't know.
I feel
Oh,
like that's reasonable.
Honestly, it is. It should be workers' comp because you literally
Yeah.
got that injury as a result of your job.
Yeah.
all right. I'm going out there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Let's
going out
let's
there
go.
too. Except I'm going out there. I mean, we're probably gonna fuck around for a little while.
Barrick, how do I get you fired? Because I really think you're not a like an I quit kind of
Impeach him.
guy.
It's easy.
Barrett, I will
Or
send you
like,
some tea at some point.
Well, the
I love
issue
tea.
is that Barrick is similar to Richard in that they always want to do the best for the, they want to do, how do I word this? They want to do what's best for everyone around them except themselves, Barrick.
It's a force of habit. I just
People pleaser.
Ew,
Like,
awkward. Oh, my car was unlocked. That's scary.
you can blame the marshal.
Awkward. One moment.
Impeach me for deploying the Humvee for a 13 Bravo.
Oh, nope. Okay, and thank you for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream. All right, well. The lack of those signatures is something, don't you think?
I mean, it's just like
There's no reason.
don't-
Well, it's not that there's no reason. It's just like,
I'm just curious to know, like, why. I'm curious to talk to Murray and just find out like what's going on.
Well, I assume it's because of like the proposed changes, but then again, it didn't get signed. So it's like it's almost as if it was a intended topic of discussion that got overlooked and then forgotten.
Yeah.
That's no bueno. But
It's just,
welcome
like,
everyone.
such a
Hope y'all are doing
massive
well.
thing to, like,
Yeah. And Eric, listen, you don't need the weight of all of the DOJ's bullshit on your shoulders.
it's not all of it. You know, it's just like I'm just trying to.
Okay.
I just
And
wanna
do you
try
want
and
to you want to
help
know what Barrett
before-
told Barrett told me?
Fun.
Well, clearly right now we can't even maintain 5 justices, and
Yeah.
all but one are being impeached.
Yeah.
What if they only need one? I mean, right now, the reality of the situation is, like, you know, if only one of them's putting in work, then,
Yeah.
well,
Just let there be one.
and then guess what? You can be released from your chains.
Yeah, but even then, like they have like there's like barely any judges to begin with.
Yes,
And then, like, the
exactly. And then we have
your fucking
judges.
husband is impeaching one of the fucking magistrates.
Who?
Like, Jaina.
Oh, Jane is a good one, actually.
Well,
You know, Jaina
impeaching
was
her,
the
like-
one who heard what Ava did and was like, no, and then sided with us. So like, well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, listen, I'm a whole different person at the kebab shop, okay? Because I know my ability to survive is, you know, far different. So again, legally blind, legally deaf. I was busy that day, right? Didn't see nothing, didn't hear nothing, but I heard something that day when Jaina was there. I heard Jaina speaking with an attorney. I'm assuming an attorney because of how he was speaking. And people came up and held someone up to be a hostage in their group of people. Now I saw this whole thing with my eyeballs. Saw the whole thing, start to finish, right? So they leave with the hostage or whatever, and the cocky dude that I'm talking about here, I don't know his name. He goes, "I'm a government employee." I think he mentioned something about Nino's cabinet, but I'm assuming he's an attorney to some
Jesus,
degree.
dude.
And so they pick someone else in the group, right? And then the police show up because they got a call, not from me, but they got a call that someone had a gun. And the bitch who was in point blank range of this fucking gun went, "No, I didn't see nothing. No, there was no gun." I'm thinking to myself, and this all happened in front of Jaina. Jaina didn't say nothing either. Now, I didn't say nothing. Again, minding my business because I want to survive out here on the streets. But the guy just flat out lying. I don't know if Jaina mentioned anything directly to the police officer that showed up, but the cocky dude who was like, "I'm a government employee," and then when they left, bragged about, "Yeah, I used that card," and I'm like, "Okay, bud. Okay." Meanwhile, I'm out here like, I don't ever want to fucking mention that I'm a police officer. Like, flat out like that.
You want a second? Hello? Hey, what's up? Jaina had a bench trial. TLDR, Jaina had a bench trial. Chatterbox was called as a character witness for Simbo. Chatterbox goes up to the stand, sits down next to Jaina, starts coughing all over Jaina. Chatterbox is apparently, like, has the plague and is contagious. And Jaina got very sick very quickly, had to go to the hospital. Obviously, you know, rendering the rest of the trial just null and void. Which kind of prompted me in my thought process to be like, okay, if people are going to start, if somebody is going to essentially use this as, you know, yeah, a weapon in this regard to attack a member, attack like a sitting member of the judiciary. Like, we should probably start talking about it and think about some kind of
390 10
some kind of way to
Teamster,
move
thank you
forward
for the
with this
content
before we
for
actually have
45
to deal with
months.
something
I appreciate it.
along these lines. But yeah.
390.76 to the boost.
Mhm. Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I was just thinking about like what are like potential options. Like, obviously quarantining is a bit crazy, but I'm trying to think of different things. Also, do you know what? Do you know what's going on with the like legislative approval process, like that, or the legislation? I assume it was you that was like going through and, or you guys were like changing some stuff in there or something like that. I didn't hear everything you said after like the actual legislation itself. Okay, because there's like a whole bunch of drama about this fucking like legislative like approvals and proposals thing, and the signatures are not like the original signatures for the thing are not there anymore, and apparently people are saying that it's been edited recently, and like you were the one in the edit history, so that's why I just wanted to ask, like, what's like, and like the signatures aren't there anymore, so I didn't know if like you guys were just going through stuff or like discussing shit and it just got,
Surrender
like,
now, scumbag!
Fell by the wayside.
Or scumbags! Also, why steal a Zentorno? Y'all lack some taste. That thing's giving, like basic plus at most.
People did sign it or no? Okay. Yeah, drama was being made about it, so I was just curious, like, what was going on. I just wanted to talk to you before anything else. Like, before I just had like a mental meltdown.
Activated with that Zentorno from the boost eastbound San Andreas Ave. Traffic light, weather clear, speed's 90.
Yeah, I don't know. And those all have to be seen by the governor, yeah? So, like... here you go.
Continuing eastbound San Andreas.
Yeah.
Left northbound Elgin.
Does Janus have to be seen by justices or can it be seen by a judge?
Left westbound Vinewood Boulevard. Left southbound Alta. Right westbound through an alley back towards Vinewood Boulevard. Left westbound Vinewood Boulevard. Left southbound Las Laguanas. Right westbound Spanish.
I don't.
Right northbound
think
San Vito.
so. I'm still getting.
Left westbound Eclipse.
I'm still gonna be spending a majority of this week getting like feedback on the penal code and stuff like that, and then bringing all that to you guys this weekend or at the start of next week. So. Yeah, I mean, when I talked to him about it, that was just supposed to be kind of like a test thing. So I imagine it'll
Left
get
eastbound
changed
through an alley
back,
towards
but
San Vitus.
maybe not.
Right eastbound Haywick.
But I think he just wanted to see what the numbers would be like in terms of like crime rate and see the difference.
Left
but
northbound Meteor.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right eastbound Vinewood Boulevard. Right
Yeah,
southbound
so
Elgin.
just like- That's to be expected, unfortunately.
Ooh.
But,
Continuing southbound Elgin.
anyway. Yeah, I can't think of anything else really.
Right westbound San Andreas. Left southbound Power.
I don't know.
Right
yeah,
westbound Adams Apple.
I'll have a lot of feedback when that time comes, but I'm not gonna
Left southbound
bother
Alta.
with it right now. Because it'll just be a lot of jumbled stuff. But I want to put it all together into
Right westbound
something that's more
Innocence.
concrete. All right. Yeah, you
Right
too, brother.
northbound Calais.
So-
Right eastbound Vespucci. Left northbound Peaceful. Left westbound San Andreas. Barrick, this is the Boost. Right northbound Movie Star. Think about it, Barrick. You could be doing comms right eastbound South Boulevard Del Perro, left intermediate right eastbound Boulevard Del Perro.
And when I was with Lucas earlier, I was thinking about it. I was like,
Right southbound Madwin Thunder, 10-2.
I missed the helicopter comms.
Left eastbound Eastbourne Way, right southbound Portola. 390 radio check. I don't know if my radio's working. 390 radio check. 390 radio check.
Good too.
I can't hear you guys. Oh, fuck.
Right.
Oh, I can hear you now. Hello?
Hi.
Were y'all talking?
No.
Oh, A-firm. Sorry. Left northbound Alta. Right eastbound Integrity Way. Through the tunnel. Right southbound Strawberry.
I guess everybody was in agreement.
Right westbound San Andreas. Left southbound Elgin. Right westbound Adams Apple. Left southbound Power. Just a reminder, it's an 80 with days in Torno from the latest S Boost. Right westbound Form. And right westbound Carson.
Ready to check?
10-2. Right northbound Alta. Viv, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. I'm so sorry.
Hey, firm, you're good. I will 10-9 in an active 80 with a black and I want to say orange Torno, northbound Calais in reference to the latest S boost.
Alright, I'm 76.
Left northbound through the white garage, no block. Firm, just to confirm, primary color black with like orange accents. Left northbound Las Lagunas, right eastbound through the underground garage towards Alta. Hard braking and all the way east into Union Depository. Right southbound lower power. Right westbound San Andreas, opposing lanes. Right northbound Las Lagunas. Left westbound Dorset Drive. Right northbound San Vitas. Right eastbound through the Rockford Plaza. Left northbound exiting hit disregard. We're circling around on the inner portion and exiting westbound. Right northbound San Vitas. Left westbound Haywick.
432 secondary, westbound Haywick into Boulevard Del Perro. Pushing past the church, westbound Boulevard Del Perro. Passing Life Invaders, slowing slightly. Slowing. Oh my god, I just 50'd into a local. Please to be.
Continuing westbound Boulevard Del Perro. Left southbound Bay City. Left eastbound Marathon.
Full 32 secondary, eastbound Marathon. All the way to Dorset. Right eastbound Dorset.
Oh!
Oh, big 50. Big 50. Still mobile. They're on Eastbourne Way now. Eastbound. Left northbound Rockford. Oh my god.
Go.
Right eastbound South Boulevard Del
I'll
Perro.
parallel here and let you know if they go Abe Milton. They did not go Abe Milton. I'm assuming they cut straight east.
Oh, they're still straight. Yeah, straight
I
onto
got 'em.
Harwick and VCB.
Full sending east. Passing the clothing store. Full sending. Passing the pink cage. We're breaking left northbound Meteor. Left westbound Spanish. Right northbound Power. Left westbound Vinewood Boulevard, approaching the vault. Full sending west, merging Eclipse. Left southbound disregard, continuing westbound Eclipse. Left southbound Milton. Approaching Haywick. Crossing and full sending southeast Abe Milton Parkway, opposing lanes. Left eastbound Eastbourne Way. Right eastbound into the Carcer Way, like Los Santos Customs. Right westbound Carcer Way. Left southbound San Vitas, or correction, Abe Milton towards San Vitas. Left northbound Las Lagunas. Right eastbound Occupation. Right southbound Elgin. Tracker is still active.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to keep up with this car, unfortunately.
A firm. Right westbound San Andreas. Left southbound through the alley and right westbound towards Lower Power. Left southbound and onto the sidewalk, running parallel to Lower Power. And full sending southbound towards Adams Apple.
432 secondary, right westbound Adams Apple. Left southbound Alta Street. Left eastbound onto Carson. Left northbound Straw.